Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year from SunRADON. And I just wanted to focus on what's become a popular topic, which is the calibration process. Guess what, everybody? It's Radon Action Month for January, which means it's calibration season. So we're going to go forward and do a repeat of the calibration processing through our SunRADON website. Remember, we are SunRADON.com and no longer Sun Nuclear. So clear that cache and clear those cookies and make sure that you go to the proper website, sunradon.com. So if you can see my screen, this is where we are now. And at the top of the page, you can see support and resources, and you're going to scroll down to calibration and repairs. That's going to take you directly to a physical portal option. So now you have the quick self-service portal, which is located here right on the top of this section in the green, and then we have the OneRADON Cloud, which is located down here towards the bottom in yellow. I'm going to kind of go through the differences of what they are, but I just want everyone to realize that we have a new process. You're just submitting your calibrations. It's the standard $129 for the calibration fee, and then we're just promoting that you can use FedEx two-way label processing, which we're giving you guys access to our reduced rates with FedEx because we do a lot of shipping, as you know, and that way you might have a better term at getting a cheaper rate than taking it to a pseudo shipping store. You can use FedEx drop boxes, or you can use FedEx locations such as Walgreens, Rite Aid, Dollar Generals. They're all taking FedEx packaging now, so don't expect to pay additional if you're doing the two-way shipping. So let's move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this self-service RMA portal here, and then we're going to go through the cloud version here. So I have a couple options at the top that I'm going to click on. This is actually the cloud portal. So if you get into this portion here, if you haven't saved your username and password when you do log in, it's going to promote you to put in your email and your password and then log in. So if you do get to this portion, it's likely that you've already created the account. But if you see this portion where it says please enter email on file with SunRADON, I'm going to start here first, and I'm just going to put in my let's see here, my Gmail. And we're going to go forward and just do a quick request of calibration on some of our monitors without going through the cloud with the licensing. So if you do need assistance with this, or if you get any issues, you can simply call us. We're here Monday through Friday, except for holidays, and we are available from 8 to 5 p.m. However, we do get busy. Leave us a quick message. We will return your calls. It's just heavy call volume at this time of year. So as you can see through the green portal, I now show a listing of my serial numbers. And my serial numbers represent the devices that I have, that SunRADON has on file for me, that I've purchased over time or over the years. Now, this is not physically in the cloud. This is through our portal, which is acting in the same capacity, but you're not sharing or opting in data here. You're not managing your devices through the cloud. You're simply going in and creating your serial number RMA, which is a return material request authorization form that we would require you to have when you're submitting your device, so that things get streamlined and pushed through the process appropriately. Just a quick caveat message to that: if it doesn't come in with an RMA, it will sit here until someone reaches out to the appropriate user to find out, what is the requirement? Is it calibration? Is it service? Was it meant to be here? Does it belong to you? So that could delay your calibration process. So keep that in mind. So on this list, I have my devices. I got a couple XPs and some 1030s here. There's not really any calibration date listed, so I'm going to go ahead and just select what I know I need to calibrate. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Calibration RMA. If I need service, I'm going to bypass this and click Create Service RMA. That's just going to upcharge me the additional $70 that we can call you for, or the calibration cost is going to be $129 and I'm not going to get service. So if I know that I need device repairs and I've spoken to support and that's already been confirmed, I'm just going to click Create Service RMA. So let me go ahead and move forward with that. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a couple of the devices here, and I'm going to choose, let's see, this 1030 and this XP, and I'm going to click Proceed. And it's going to bring up a service description field, and I'm going to go ahead and put in that, let's see, I need, let's see, and LCD replaced. they had an angry customer and they threw my monitors across the room, and then I need my devices replaced on the outside of the device itself. So I'm just making up some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And now you're going to see the method of choose your method of shipment. So I'm going to create and pay two-way FedEx shipping labels. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm going to click continue. And now it's going to bring me into the FedEx shipping location. Now, here's the part I would like everyone to pay attention to. With the from address, it's going to be your name, address, city, state, and zip, and it's going to be addressed to come to our calibration services department at SunRADON. So this top portion, just make sure your address is correct. In this case, I'm actually sharing the same address as the ship to location, so it's going to look a little different. But if you live in Connecticut, make sure that your address is reflective of where you live in Connecticut. So that's going to be appropriate to your labels. And then, of course, make sure it's the one that you're applying to the packaging is actually coming from the is coming to the 415 Pineda Court address. That's our receiving dock, and that's where they're going to receive your monitors in with that fancy new RMA form that you're going to get in your email. So moving down this little page, so after you've confirmed your address and your details, you're going to scroll down to the bottom and you're going to select a shipment date. Now, because FedEx is actually a day ahead, because when your monitors get picked up from shipment, the actual shipping day doesn't really start until the following business day. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the next following business day, which is the 10th of January. And it's hard to believe it's already the 10th of January, but I'd like to keep the packaging materials because I know a lot of you guys spend money to prepare your own boxes. So make sure you check that box if you want us to retain your packaging and then ship it back to you. Otherwise, we will replace your boxes in foam and bubble wrap and tissue or whatever else that you include and put it in our own packaging and send it back to you. So if it's yours, make sure you check that box. Here are the two serial numbers that, again, I'm selecting that are coming to calibration or for repair. I'm going to leave this unit type at pounds. Obviously, you have kilograms and pounds, but domestically speaking, we use pounds. And then I'm just going to do my best guess on package weight. Monitors 1030 is a little bit heavier. It's probably about 3 to 4 pounds. And then a 1028 XP is probably about 1.5 pounds. So I'm going to just go ahead and put in that my package weight is about 6 or 7 pounds. And then I'm going to go in and figure a length of box material that I've already either prepared or I know what size it is. So I'm going to, again, overestimate a little bit because it's going to be probably not specific, but let's go with a 12 by 12 by 12 square box, and we'll leave the units in inches. This physical, these values here, you cannot add in decimal figures, so just try to make them as rounded as possible. Again, and if the length is longer, if it's a an 18-inch box, it's more of a rectangular shape, put in that specific size and dimensions as best as you can. And then you're going to click rate, and it's going to calculate with our FedEx programming built in the approximate weight, dimensions, and the amount. So here's the total amount due for the specific products. And again, it's dedicated based on zip code and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and click pay, and this is going to take me into the credit card servicing. Now, if you notice up at the top, it's $420, and that's a total amount due with the shipping charge that was built in. So it's giving me the $129 calibration charge plus the service on the two devices, which is $70 a piece. So that's added in at the $140. So I have $420.34 total that I'm paying. So now after I go through and put in all of the details here, it's going to then promote my FedEx labels to pop up. And generally speaking, when I'm not going to put this in because nobody wants to see my credit card details, but you understand how this works. So once I click pay, it's going to generally go through the processing of the payment within our credit card program. And that is a secure payment method. So just understand it's not any information that we retain here. It's a third-party service that we use. And you might want to just double check at the top, make sure that you don't notice any pop-up blockers, because you will get a FedEx pop-up. Sometimes you'll get that little notification up here in the top of your browser bar that shows that the pop-up didn't come up either way, also check your email because you're going to get an email with the FedEx shipping labels as well. And if something by chance doesn't come up for you, you can always reach back to our sales and support team and we'll make sure that you receive that. We can always download it for you and send it to you. So I'm going to kind of bypass this payment section without putting in any credit card details. And I'm going to skip over to the OneRADON Cloud for those with an account. So next I'm going to pop in and see if my login's going to work here. Oh, sorry, my password's incorrect. So I got to create an account, I think. Let's go back through it. Go here to create an account. So what this should do in theory, if I don't have an account already, is going to, which is perfect, it's going to give me a temporary password to the email that I provided. So I'm going to just kind of open up my mobile phone here and see if I can search for my Gmail account and find my password and locate it very quickly here. Takes a minute or two. Sometimes you have to check for some spam and through some junk. So there we go. So and then usually the email will reflect it's coming from OneRADON Cloud and it says invite professional user, and it's going to just basically say hello, username, in this case me, welcome to the OneRADON Cloud application. Get started with your new account registration. Please click the link below and use the temporary password to log in for the first time. So basically I'm going to go in and take that temporary password and I'm going to apply it here. Type it exactly as shown. See if I can replicate it with my fingers. And then I'm going to create a new password, which is going to be hopefully that'll do the trick. Got to use those characters that it's providing, uppercase, lowercase, up to, I think it's 8 to 16 characters, and then a special character as well. So again, this is going to show my contact details. So I have my new account, which is listed as SunRADON Demo. Here's my name, here's my last name, and my address. So I'm verifying everything looks good. I do want to make sure I check. First of all, please do read the terms and conditions and the privacy policies here. It's very important. Everybody blows past this information, but it is something that you should understand since we are a new company. This just in general, you want to make sure you always understand terms and conditions, but ultimately, you know, it's fairly safe and sound and straightforward. Check the box and then go ahead and click next. And now you're going to see that in a cloud license application, so I'm physically adding licensing to my devices so that I can literally use the cloud to my advantage. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the trial, which is kind of highlighted here. I'm going to select a serial number or two first. Let's just say I'm going to select 3 of them. This is per device. You can choose up to 3, I believe, and you get a 1-month base license trial just to see what the cloud is like if you haven't already submitted anything for this. But we want to try it. We're going to go for base licensure at this point in time, just because we're talking about calibrations because of it being January is Radon Action Month. So select your base license, make sure your total amount is showing now at the bottom for the total devices that we've checked off. And then you're going to click proceed. Again, if you skip the payment portion, or if you go to the back button, or if you contact customer support, it's basically not going to push you forward. So I'm going to go ahead and click proceed for the 3 devices that I've selected. And again, it's the $129 for the calibration process. And it's going to take me straight back into this card details, which again, I'm going to sort of bypass because we don't want to share credit card details over the phone and record it and have it put out there for everyone. So again, you fill in the appropriate card information, the expiration, the security code, billing address, as appropriate as possible to your credit card address. And then this auto renew license isn't necessary. I just proposed not to use this right now. That's just basically if you want us to recharge a credit card next year, but for now, just leave that unchecked. It's not necessary. Promo codes, we don't have any at the moment, so we're still working on development in that portion of the area, but go ahead and just click pay once you're finished with this, and then it's going to promote you to move forward with again, the FedEx labeling. So I'm going to sort of skip past this portion and then just go over and hopefully, yeah, I was gonna say, please put in billing materials. So I'm not gonna do that right now. So what I'd like to do is I'm gonna kind of put you on a hold page here for a second, and I'm gonna go back over to my other pages and see if I can share. Give me a second to get logged in for you here. Just getting this paid in so we can, perfect. So now we're doing the, so I'm going to go ahead and close this page, and slide this over, and hopefully you'll still see this page that's shared. So what you should now be viewing, hopefully, is the dashboard page and the device management page. And I don't have any data because I just created my account, which after you prepay and put in your credit card details to your licensing, you're going to basically, from there, you're going to go into RMA portal, and let's back up a screen here. So you see that I've created my base license for one of these XPs that I have, and it's listed here. If I wanted to add a new license, I would simply go to this page and click another serial number. But if I don't want to do that and I want to go back to my RMA portal and just finish forward with my RMA request, I'm going to go to the Create Calibration RMA, and I'm going to select this device, and I'm going to click Proceed. Again, this is the portion where it takes you over into your shipping method, and it's very similar to what I was just showing before. You're going to do the two-way shipping labels, which is the most convenient. If you don't, you can use the prepay return shipping only, which means you'll take your box somewhere, or if you have a preferred carrier that you use, simply use your carrier to ship to us, and then the return shipping you've prepaid with us to send back to you, and we generally still will be using FedEx for that return service. So let's just say you're going to do your own return service. You're going to go through this process. Again, I'm not going to put in credit card details here, but it is going to show you that you're paying roughly about $12 for the service, and you're going to put in your credit card details and your if you have your tracking number of the shipping that you're going to be using. Again, if you're choosing UPS and you've already got a UPS account or a tracking number on a form that you fill out with your daily carrier pickups, you can simply add that here and then choose your carrier name. Otherwise, click the reuse material box and then just go forward and pay the details. So that's just going to pay us the $12 in advance to return the shipped device back to you. So that's pretty straightforward on the return shipping process. Then once it's completed, you're going to get the shipping labels again pop up, and do check to make sure that you don't have pop-up blockers. Otherwise, what you'll do is you'll go back to your device manager, which is this page here, click on your RMA portal, and then you're going to go in and print or view you can edit your RMA or reprint your labels. So that will show up under your RMA portal screen. Now, the other information that you have a transaction account here where it'll show your receipts, and you can simply go in and visibly open it up and see what you've paid for. So this is kind of a helpful tool if you need to keep track of your payments for your end of year, accounting records. You can then simply download the CSV file also for all of the accounting records you have, and that's depending on what date range that you put in. You just close out that window here, and you can close out the window there. Now, for the simple, again, licensing of the device, those of you who go through the licensing process will actually have a license now. So you've got a licensed CRM, and if you want to view your other devices, you click on unlicensed CRMs. So that's going to pop up the other list of the 4 devices that we didn't license in the cloud. So again, the differences between licensing portal and the RMA portal is the simple fact that you have licensed your device in the licensing screen, that you can then take advantage of having a dashboard view, having a little bit of device management view, which is going to give you your expiration dates, your calibration due dates, firmware versions if you're connecting to your devices in the cloud, and also the next your calibration status when you're sending your devices to us. The other thing too is you can go in and now edit your device names. So a lot of you like to rename your serial numbers or your devices. So you can simply go in and change the name and just say this is, Sun device number 1, and save that record. And now my device name is changed. So instead of referring to it, as the serial number that we provide to the monitors based on manufacturing, you can now refer to it as your own device name, which is fairly helpful.
Laura?
Yes.
We do have one question that might fit in at this point because you're talking about licensing.
Perfect.
From Bill, what's the difference between base and level 1?
Actually, there is a good difference between them. So level 1 licensing is going to give you the ability to report from the cloud. So you're not only going to see this, you'll have four segmented tabs here on the side for base licensure. The level 1 licensing is going to give you a 5th tab, which is for inspections. So that's going to then open up, in theory, a module that looks very similar to your OneRADON reporting, and then you can move forward and actually do all of your reporting from the cloud. So if you are a big company, have multiple technicians that are running devices, Bill, you can simply send your users out. They can drop a monitor, pick up a monitor, connect with their Bluetooth or connect via their tablets, however they're connecting. They can just simply have that data enabled to upload to the cloud, and then whomever is working back in the office very simply can go in, review that test data very quickly, approve it maybe as the specialist, and then email that right off to the clients. So that's the difference between the base license and then the level 1 license. And to upgrade a base license, you simply go in to the level 1 programming and just proceed to pay the additional $70. So then that also gives you the ability to collectively store all of your tests. Not only each individual test is in the cloud, and then all of the hourly data to that relation, but every test that you take with every other device that you connect with, from SunRADON is going to be in the cloud as well. So if you're in a state that has specifics on updating monthly or quarterly reports, you're going to have the ability on your dashboard page to download all of that information here. So I don't think I'm going to have any data because obviously we just kind of created this account for the RMA processing, but this is where you're going to collectively download all of the collected data over time that you've done with your devices. The nice part about OneRADON is if you have tests that you've stored in the cloud, then you can simply go forward and upload some of that data to the cloud. So it will sort of be able to catch some of the previous information that you've done. And that's quite simple. So let me see if I can open up OneRADON and show that real quick. Hopefully, Shannon, can you confirm that this screen is still showing with the OneRADON software?
Yes, it's showing the SunRADON logo, gray background.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
So under the support tab, I'm sorry, when you connect to a device, or if you've got data in a device, you're simply going to go to an inspection that you may have already, let's see, let's just do saved. So this test, if there's anything here, which it doesn't look like there is, let me grab another one. Let's see here. Let's do template 3. Open, and again, there's not much here, but you'll go to your report setup tab, and then you can upload inspections from there. So just make sure that what you're uploading has, obviously links to your cloud account. So that's going to then take some of the data that you've already gathered and upload some previous inspections. But otherwise, what you're going to collect is pretty much everything moving forward as you collect data with a specific serial to the cloud. It has to be from that serial number too. So just make sure that your cloud account that you have with us, make sure that you're uploading the appropriate details. And then, of course, give us a call. We can kind of walk you through some of the details. I'm happy to give specified demos for people because everybody wants to do things a little differently. Not every person uses it identically in the cloud, but this is where you would upload your inspections from your desktop software to your cloud database for retention purposes. So and then you can simply continue through your cloud programming with your devices and your inspection software there, and email reports from the cloud as you gather them in time. So it will come from you. It doesn't show from SunRADON or anything like that, but you would simply you'd get a settings tab here, and you can certainly put in all of your company information. And then don't forget, if you're an avid user of SunRADON products and you're going to try out our new Luft home plugin device, that is also, if you're a professional user with an account with SunRADON, that's going to give you, in addition to this dashboard, you're going to get a little home information button up at the top too. It's going to show professional devices and then home devices. So if you're ever having a user or a client of yours plug in with a Luft device, they can share their data with you as their Radon professional if they want you to review the information. And then you can simply log into your cloud account, click on home devices, which would appear here in this window area at the top. And that's going to allow you to also kind of take your cloud one step further. So hopefully that kind of helps out a little bit. I didn't want to get too deep in the weeds with other products and features of the cloud, but from an RMA perspective, a lot of folks are kind of hesitant, don't know which direction to take this. Just want to make sure people understand licensed monitors in the cloud, you must be enabled in your OneRADON application software or uploading data from your desktop software in order for it to appear in your cloud software. Otherwise, if you're just using it from an RMA perspective, you're going to see pretty much what I would be seeing here, which is little to no data. So make sure that this is all you're going to see when you're just having a license in the cloud if you're not opted in to share the cloud sharing on your apps or uploading them manually from your desktop versions. So for those of you who do want to have that data and have reporting capabilities, take your base license and update it to you want to update that to the level 1 license. And then for those of you who are just using that quick RMA portal, you're just going to go into the SunRADON support and resources page, click that green button, and just kind of fill out the details, very similar to what you see here, but don't opt into the licensing. If you want us to invite you to join in later on with the license, just give us a call and we can send you an invite, and then you can opt in with the level 1, with the base licensing if you prefer. Since you've kind of already paid the same amount or that $129 price point, it just gives you then an access to go in and maybe take advantage of a little bit of the features that the cloud offers. So hopefully that explains it. I think I'm kind of up on my time for our webinar today, but you can join us weekly. I believe next Friday, we're going to try to catch up with our schedule and talk about maybe the Luft device, and then I can show that in the cloud a little bit. Also, support and resources is a great way to reach us. You can contact us to support@sunradon.com, and then 321-255-7011, and then just proceed to press 2 or 3 if you need support, and then 1 for sales. So we can certainly help you out. We want to make sure everybody understands the new processes. So we appreciate your time, and Happy New Year again from SunRADON.